Good day, learners and viewers of DepEd Hour tele-turuan. I am Glenn Abigail Gersha, your teacher presenter from DS Gersha Elementary School. For today's episode, we will be studying on the tenses of verb. Let us start our discussion by observing these sentences. Number 1. Gwen listens to a song. Number 2. Gwen has listened to a song. Number 3. Gwen is listening to a song. Number 4. Gwen has been listening to a song. The following sentences have different tenses of verb. Tense of verb is determined by whether the verb expresses a fact, an ongoing action, a completed action, or the end of an ongoing action. Sentence number 1, Gwen listens to a song, is an example of simple tense of verb because it expresses a fact. Sentence number 2, Gwen has listened to a song, expresses a completed action and it falls under the perfect tense of verb. Sentence number 3, Gwen is listening to a song, expresses an ongoing action and it is under progressive tense of verb. Lastly, sentence number 4, Gwen has been listening to a song, expresses an end of an ongoing action, and falls under perfect progressive tense of verb. For you to better understand the tenses of verb, let us have a thorough discussion about it. For simple tense, as I have said, it is the verb form used to express a fact. Here are the examples. To form the simple past tense, we are going to use the base form of the verb plus ed, and for irregular verb, sometimes we will change the spelling. Sample sentence. We painted the house. To form the simple present tense, we are going to use the base form plus s for regular verb with singular subject. Sample sentence. We paint the house. And for simple future tense, we are going to use will or shall plus base form of the verb. Sample sentence. We will paint the house. Next is the progressive tense of verb. It is the verb form used to express an ongoing action. Just like in the simple tense, we have a formula to follow for the progressive tense of verb. For past progressive tense, we are going to use was or were plus present participle of the verb. We can form the present participle by adding ing to the base form of the verb. For example, the boys were swimming at 7 o'clock this morning. The action in progress occurred at a specific point of time in the past. For present progressive tense, we are going to use am, is, are, plus present participle of the verb. For example, the boys are swimming at the pool now. The action used to describe an incomplete action which is in progress at the moment of speaking, usually with time expressions such as now, at the moment, right now. For future progressive tense, we use the words will be plus present participle of the verb. For example, the boys will be swimming tomorrow. The action indicates a future event that will be ongoing. The third one is the perfect tense of verb. It is the verb used to express a completed action. It also describes events occurring in the past but linked to a later time, usually the present. To form the past perfect tense of the verb, we will use had plus past participle of the verb. For example, John had baked a cake before you arrived. The action was completed before another action took place. To form the present perfect tense of the verb, we will use has for singular subject and have for plural subject. plus past participle of the verb. For example, John has taken Sarah's advice. The action started in the past and continues at present. Future perfect. To form the future perfect tense of the verb, use will or shall be plus past participle of the verb. For example, John will have baked a cake before you arrive. The future action will take place before another future action. It is often used with a time expression that identifies a point of time in the future. The fourth one is the perfect progressive tense. It is used to express how long the completion of an action that is, was, or will be in progress. Perfect means complete, and progressive means unfinished. Perfect progressive tenses often answer the question, how long? You form the past perfect progressive tense by using had been followed by an ing verb. For example, it had been raining for 2 days before it stopped. The past perfect progressive emphasizes the duration of a past action before another action happened. Notice how the past perfect progressive often includes the adverbs for and since to express duration. You will also see the adverbs before, when, or by the time used to introduce a second action. You form the present perfect progressive tense by using have been or has been followed by an ing verb. For example, it has been raining all month long. The emphasis is on how the finished activity relates to the present. A time reference is not required to use the present perfect progressive. Sometimes we use it to refer to recently completed actions. You form the future perfect progressive tense by will have been plus a present participle followed by when or by the time and the second action. For example, it will have been raining for 3 days by the time it stops. It describes the duration of an action as it relates to a future event. With the future perfect progressive, it is not always clear if the ing verb started in the past or will start in the future. The future perfect progressive is rare because it is difficult to know the duration of an activity relative to another future event. Now that you already have knowledge on the tenses of verb, let us answer this exercise. Direction. Complete the sentences by choosing the correct tense of verb. You may use the given tense as a clue. Number 1. The giant squid blanked the pirate ship. Here are your choices. A. Was attacking. B. Had attacked. C. Attacked. Very good. The answer is letter C. Attacked. Number 2. Once upon a time, dinosaurs blanked the earth. Here are your choices. Letter A. Roamed. B. Were roaming. C. Had roamed. That's right. The answer is letter A. Roamed. 3. Her mom blanked 7 new dresses before this shopping trip is finished. Here are your choices. Letter A. Has bought. B. Had bought. C. Will have bought. The answer is letter C. Will have bought. Number 4. At school, the teachers blanked the students. Here are your choices. Letter A. Are instructing. Letter B. Instructed. Letter C. Had been instructing. Very good. The answer is letter A. Are instructing. And number 5. My dog blanked around the pool before jumping in. Here are your choices. Letter A, will have been running. Letter B, had been running. Letter C, is running. That's correct. The answer is letter B, had been running. That's it for today. Thank you for your active participation. I hope that you learned a lot for today's episode. This has been Glenn Abigail Gersha of DS Gersha Elementary School. See you again in the next episode of DepEd Hour Tele-turuan.